All right, Ben Shapiro, so you're on NRA TV, and obviously, so we're very big on the Second Amendment, and it's what we focus on mostly on this program, not all the time, but mostly. Let me ask you, when it comes to young people, the millennial generation, what do you think and where do they stand when it comes to guns? Does it mimic the older population where those on the left have this idea that somehow they're bad, except for in the South and maybe middle America? Or is there an awakening going on among young people and firearms, in your opinion?
I mean, I think there is something of an awakening going on. I think there's a libertarian streak that runs very strong in people of my age and below, just where they say we don't want government involved in any of our stuff, and that includes guns. I will say there's a cultural gap, no question. I mean, I grew up in Los Angeles. I went to law school in Boston. There are a lot of people who grew up around me who have never seen a gun in person, have never held a gun, and so they see guns as inherently frightening, as inherently spooky, as inherently like the gun is going to take on a life of its own and shoot somebody. And you have to be trained out of that. I mean, you really have to be given almost an aversion therapy. You actually have to train with a gun. You have to go to a range. You have to be taught by somebody who knows what they're doing. I grew up that way, not holding guns. Now I own a couple of guns myself. But that's because, I actually put forth the effort to go and get educated and learn how to do it. I think that, a lot of the work the NRA does in educating people is going to make a big difference there. The more people have actually seen and fired a gun and seen that it's a tool rather than in evil in and of itself, I think that the better the gun rights movement will do among young people. All
right, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to put you on the spot here, and either answer is okay, all right? Are you a member of the NRA?
I don't think I'm technically a member of the NRA. I did win a prize from the NRA back when I was in law school for a law essay that I wrote, actually. But I don't think that I'm technically a member.
All right. Well,
I was for several years, actually.
That's to me speaks very highly of the NRA. We're going to give you an award even if you're not a member. No problem there. It's something a group like the NRA would do and be all for. Here's the reason why I ask you. One, I would love to have you as a member. And look, we need young people, whether we have great conservative thinkers who are wildly famous like yourself, Ben Shapiro, or just other young people out there who are just trying to make their way. We need young people. What do you think our message should be here at NRA TV or the NRA's message to reach out to more young people to get them to join? Because I would not be intellectually honest if I didn't say that we need to make it a goal of ours, because we cannot let all of the membership pass through here without signing up younger people.
I think that the best thing that you guys can do is a lot of the stuff that you're already doing in terms of saying to young people that your rights are under assault, and also that even if you're not somebody who's been familiar with guns, these are tools that you should get to know. This is something that you should know about instead of just being scared about something that you've never spent any time with. So your educational programs first, and then you say, now that you've been educated about what a firearm is, what it does, and how to use it, now you can talk about rights. I think that starting with the rights argument is probably a losing argument. Getting people familiar with what you're talking about and then making the rights argument is a winning one.
Yeah, I will tell you, well, obviously I'm biased, but there is great power and there is strength in numbers. There is no doubt. And the NRA and its 5 million members were instrumental in getting Donald Trump elected. And the only way to continue that power is to have more and more members come on board.
No question. I mean, I've always thought that the NRA does fantastic work in protecting Second Amendment rights, and without the NRA doing that work, and despite the media's lies about what the NRA does, the NRA is a popular grassroots organization. This is not something where you guys are being paid by the gun lobby because you're corrupt. There are millions of Americans who feel that their gun rights have to be protected by someone. I think that's what the NRA stands for.
And my message to young people would be, it's not just about the guns, it's about the freedom. And you could almost make the argument that it's more about the freedom, and the guns are there to protect that, Ben.
No question. I mean, that's an argument I've been making my entire career with regard to gun rights, is that in the end, what stands between you and tyranny is the power of the weapon in your hand and the power of the goodness in your heart. And if you combine those two things, that's how you maintain a free country. That's how a free country was won in the first place.
All right, last question for you. Any other colleges out there now have your picture with devil horns coming out of your head on their walls, graffitiized and all of that thing? You got any plans for speeches where they're not going to let you speak?
Well, I'm not sure about the bans yet, but we are speaking, I believe, 3 times on the East Coast at the end of this month. We're speaking 4 times throughout the country at the end of February. So I think we have something like 12 to 15 more colleges that we're going to be visiting between the beginning of this year and the end of April, I think.
My biggest problem with universities today, and when I went to school, I graduated in 1991. Certainly there was a liberal bent to where I went to school, but I still don't remember professors telling me what to think. I really still believe when I was at school, maybe it was the last great years of colleges, and I went to a little liberal arts school in the middle of Ohio where it would be bastionally liberal. But they taught me how to think and how to be a critical thinker, not what to think. And I don't think that's happening in our colleges and universities today.
I think increasingly it's a minority viewpoint that teaching people to think for themselves is worthwhile. More often it seems like there are professors who are interested in teaching you that what they think is the correct way to think, that what they're teaching you is fact as opposed to their opinion. I don't want to say that's true for all professors. I think there are a lot of great professors out there, but increasingly the ivory tower effect has had a significant negative impact, I think, on the teaching profession.
All right. Ben Shapiro, it's great having you on the program. You want me to send you a membership application, buddy?
I'm happy for you to do so. Shoot it over.
Sounds good. Maybe I'll even pay the small amount it is for the first year for you. Buddy, thank you for coming on the program.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.